Hey, my name is Phil from funnelscene.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a Go HighLevel 2-step funnel from scratch, and this is going to be a full step-by-step tutorial, so make sure you stick around to the end if you want to go ahead and build one as well. Now I will also leave some timestamps in the description if you need to jump back or go forward to a certain section. It's entirely up to you. And if you are someone that is thinking about getting started with HighLevel but you haven't yet got an account, I've also got an exclusive 30-day free trial, plus I have bonus courses, templates, and everything in between. So go ahead, check out the description, all the information about that is in there. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you know Go HighLevel, you know it is quite a powerful platform. There is over 400 features, but just make sure you have tunnel vision in what you're trying to do. That's why I'm creating these types of trainings to make it as simple as possible to get a result. So first of all, we're going to need three things to build a functioning funnel inside of HighLevel. The first one is going to be a form. This is where you can create fields so people can put in their information, things like a name, email, phone if you want it. There's so many possibilities. We'll go through those in a sec. You also need to have a funnel, which we're going to walk through from scratch. And then finally, we need to create a workflow so the entire process is automated to make a perfect automation funnel. So let's go ahead and get started with the first step. Let's go to the Forms tab. So make sure you're in your sub account, come down to Sites, and come across to Form and Builder. Now what you want to do is come to the top right and click Start from Scratch, and this is going to open up the Form Builder. Now just to let you know, I am using the version 2 builder. I think this is currently still in beta. You can access it by going to your account settings, making sure your beta features are on, and you can use the version 2 builder then. So once the form has loaded, this is what it's going to look like. At the moment, this is just form 2 on an account I'm actually building out, so I thought I would share with you as well. So what I recommend you do right off the bat is go ahead and rename your form, just so you have it handy when we reach the next steps. So what you want to do is come to the right, click on Styles and Options, click on the Options tab, and inside there is the form name. So what I'm going to do is just call this the 2-step form YT, just so I have personal reference of what this form actually is for. Of course, in a real world scenario, this would be, for example, Facebook lead gen ad for XYZ campaign, whatever it might be. So once you have changed the form name, you can come back and click on Save. And one more thing I actually recommend you check is at the bottom here, we have what's called Sticky Contact. This just means if people have previously entered information on your website before, or they have it in the cookies, you can actually just have it automatically populate, so it just saves them one extra step. Okay, nice and easy. So now that we have that done, now we've actually saved it, we've got our form name. Let's go ahead and start adding in some form fields. So on the left, we have add form element. What I'm going to do is just drop in a full name field, and I'm also going to drop in an email. Now, depending on your needs, you also might want a button, you might want addresses, text, things like that. There are so many different ways you can add different fields into the forms. You can also create custom fields as well. I won't be going to that in depth in this video. I'll do a form and survey video later on. So let's go back to quick add, and what we want to do also is drop in a button module, right? And of course you can move things around so it looks like that. Now it looks pretty basic, and let's go ahead and start customizing it. Of course, add in all the ones that you want. I'm just going to leave this as is. This is all I require for this particular example. So the first thing I notice is it's got labels. I'm not a big label fan. It's already got placeholders in there. So I'm going to come to the options and styles on the left and just click on show label. So that has now disappeared. And then if I come and click on the button, you can see down here, once it's highlighted, we also have full width. So I'm going to click full width because it looks a little bit crazy without it. I'm also going to go to button background. At the moment it is black, and I'm just going to move my face and type in my brand's color code. So 019, this one here. So that looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to scroll down a little bit further. I'm going to give it a little bit more top padding and bottom padding just to beef it out a bit. And if we keep scrolling down, we've also got the option to add in or modify the text, right? So if you have a different font you want to use, or different size, different weight, things like that. So I'm just going to leave it probably about 16, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Now what I am going to do as well is actually change the text on the button. So at the top right, if you scroll right to the top, you can see it says button. I'm just going to put in here, get instant access. Okay, makes sense. I might even put it with capitals. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy. We can always change the form later on as well. We just want to have a good solid base. So I'm going to go ahead, click on save here, and we're going to go ahead and go to the next step, which is actually creating a funnel. So once again, the theme of this is creating from scratch. I'm going to go ahead, click on new funnel. You can also create folders for managing how your funnels look, but once you click new funnel, it'll have here from blank or from templates. I'm just going to start from blank, and I'm just going to call this the two-step funnel YT. Same name as the form, just so I know that they match each other. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, click on create, and this is going to go and create a blank funnel for us so we can actually start adding in some steps. So there it is, version 2, and we have 0 steps in. So click on it. It's now going to bring us to the funnel settings. And just so you know just where everything is, if you come to the settings tab inside of here, you can choose your domain for the entire funnel. So for this example, I'll just put pages.funnelscene.com. This is one I've already added. I've shot videos about how to add domains as well. This is the one I'm going to be using. We've also got our favicon. So if you have a favicon inside of your account, you can upload it through the media there and link it. I'm not going to do it in this tutorial. I'll do another one for that later. It's very easy. But all you need to do really is link your domain. It's just going to save a lot of time in the future. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead, click on add new step. The name for this path, we'll just keep it nice and simple. I'm just going to call it the two-step opt-in. Okay, two-step opt-in. Yeah, I'll just put two-step opt-in. I might even put a little line there. And the path for this is just going to be two-step, right? Obviously, you would have an idea what you wanted to call the first step. It could be part of what the lead magnet is or explaining what it is. This is just a very generic type of funnel. And you also have the import from ClickFunnels option, which is pretty cool. I believe it's going away soon, so make the most of it while it's there. But click on create funnel step, and this is going to build out this first page. Now, how I build funnels and how it makes sense in my brain is what you want to do is create all of your formatting and all of your imagery, sizing, optimization for mobile, things like that on the first page first. And once it's looking really good, then you duplicate it and modify it for the second page, because then you don't have to re-add all of the different settings and optimizations and things like that. It just saves a lot of time. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and create from blank, and we're going to build out this first page. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to build out a super long opt-in page. I've always found less is more when it comes to opt-in pages, right? Because the whole idea of an opt-in page or a lead generation page is to get people to put in their email. And the more text and the more things that you can give people to do on a landing page, the longer they're actually going to not put in their email and look at everything else first versus just going straight in and adding in their info. So what I'm going to do is go and drop in a wide module like so. This once again is on the version 2 builder, just so you know. I'm going to click on add row. I'm going to choose a 2 column. Okay. And then we're going to start adding in some content. So the first thing I'm going to do is come to this little add elements button on the top left. I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to come with headline, drop that module in. I'm also going to come back and drop in paragraph. I'm going to drop that in below, and then I'm going to press plus again, and I'm going to type in here form, okay, and drop that in there like so underneath. And then I'm also going to drop in one more, which is actually, oh yeah, I'll just backspace it and then add in paragraph one more time. This is just to give them a little disclaimer at the bottom. And then on the right, I'm going to look up image. Actually, it's just down here, and I'm going to drop image on the right. Okay, so here we have the sort of basic outline of what we want to build. And the last thing I want to do is add in one more element. It's going to be a section. This is going to be a full width, and I'm going to leave it down here. add in a simple row. So I'm going to drop in a simple column. So click on element, okay? Sorry, I'm clicking around a little bit here, and just put in paragraph. And this is going to be our privacy policy, things like that. We'll link to that when we get to it. So now we are ready to start populating this funnel. So you have to really think about what your funnel is about. What are you offering to people that's going to make them really want what you are giving away? That's the entire point of having a funnel. Usually it's something that you give away in exchange for an email address. Could be an ebook, could be a free training, could even just be curiosity driven, like learn how I did XYZ doing ABC, right? And people might be like, well, how did you do that? They want to know so badly that they will give you their name and email just to find out. So think about what is your irresistible offer that will make them want to go ahead and put in their name and email. So for this example, I'm going to say, learn how you can grow your email list 10 times faster using this simple little trick I stumbled upon. Okay, something like that. So what I might do is just scroll down a little bit here. This text is just going to be enough for this tutorial. Obviously, I would get like a copywriter or ChatGPT or something to help me out with the text, but I'm just going to spread it out a little bit so it fills up the lines a little bit better. I might even pause the video quickly and capitalize everything. Okay, so that probably looks a little bit better. And I might also just underline this just for a bit of wow factor. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And then below that, I'm just going to tell them the actionable sort of request. So enter in your name and email address below to get sent the free training about how you can grow your email list 10 times faster. So you'll probably notice I've repeated what's inside of here so people know the exact steps they need to follow in order to get this training. It's a free training. So I might increase the size a little bit. That looks pretty good. I might even come to advanced and I'll come back to general, and I'll just scroll down and give it a bit of padding at the top just to separate it a little bit. Looks pretty good. I might even give it a little down the bottom too, so 3. Right, so that's looking pretty good. Next, we can go ahead and add our form. So click on the form button. It's going to say select your form, and we know exactly which form we are using as we have it here. So click on that. It's going to be added. So it looks pretty good like that. Now it doesn't look amazing, but we're going to go through that in just a second. So bear with me. Okay, so the form's been added, and then down the bottom, I'm just going to put your information is kept safe and never shared. Okay, people love to know that. Now on the right, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add an image. So if you click on the image icon, scroll down a little bit, you will see image options. Go ahead and click on that little image thing. It says upload from media library, or you can actually use the AI to generate one for you. For this example, I'm just going to use one I've already added. So upload from media library. Okay, and I've got one here that we can use, so I'll double click on that. Right, so there is yours truly. It's a nice little photo I've got. And then down the bottom we have our we've got our information, right? So I'm just going to put inside here funnel scene 2023. I'm going to put in a little pipe and privacy policy and another little pipe. Okay, and terms and conditions. And I'm not sure how different countries work. In New Zealand, we need terms and conditions and privacy policy. I know some people have terms and service. Some people don't even have any types of terms, but you definitely need to have a privacy policy. So you want to go ahead and link that to your privacy policy on your website, like so. Okay, and you can open it on a new window if you want. And the same thing goes down here. So terms and conditions, quickly add that in. All right, so those are done, and I actually don't want them to be highlighted because it's drawing a bit of attention. So come across once you've clicked on the text module, and you'll see link text color. Just go ahead and change that to black, and it's just going to put it back to black. So that looks pretty good. Right, so I'm pretty happy so far with what we have. If we look at the entire picture, this is how it looks. Let's go have a look on mobile, how it looks. So the form definitely needs a bit of work. I'm still pointing the wrong way, and I'll show you a little trick for that as well. But what I'm going to do right now is go ahead, click on save. Okay, we'll do SEO in that in a little bit. But let's have a look how it actually looks. So I'll click on preview. Sorry if it's a little bit slow. The internet in Bali is terrible at the moment. Okay, so it looks okay. We have this little border that I don't like. There's this big gap as well. And this is up quite high. And I really want this down the bottom. So what I'm going to do is come back to the editor. I'm going to grab this entire section and I'm going to put margin top, and I'm just going to drop it down, say about 100. Like so. So that's the first part done. I'm going to click on save. Right, and I'll click on preview one more time, and then I'll show you this little trick. Okay, so that's at the bottom. It's a little bit better. At the end of the day, it's just how you want to present it. Maybe I give it a little bit of gap at the top, which would probably make it sort of round out a little bit better. So click on the green area once again. Margin top, maybe I'll bring this down about 35. Something like that. Click on save. Now I'm happy. Now, if I look at this once again, I've got that border. I've also got a little gap. So what you want to do is actually come back to your form builder, and you want to come to styles and options. And if you scroll down a little bit inside of this tab, you will notice a custom CSS container. Now, CSS is basically giving you the option to customize how everything is presented further than the options that you've already given, right? It sounds a little bit techy. I'll create a training on all of this later on. But for now, I'll actually give you this piece of code, okay? It's real simple. And I'm going to copy that and paste it into this custom tab. And I'll go ahead and click on save. And this is currently how it looks. So we'll go and have a look at the preview one more time. And now we've added in the code, okay? So you can see it's brought in the spacings. It just looks a little bit nicer. It's a little bit wider. We still have this border, so we'll go ahead and find that and get rid of it. So if I scroll to the top here, you can see border 1 packs. So I'll just press 0, click on save, and that should hopefully fix it. All right, so that's loaded. As you can see, the gaps are still there, top and bottom. The border's gone though, and it's a lot wider. So it's still good, right? It looks like this in reality. The custom CSS hasn't shown up the gap, so I'm still happy with that. So the next step is to check on mobile. You can have a look here. If you're on Chrome as well, here's a little trick. Go to the page, go to inspect, and then come to this little viewport at the top, and you can see you can change it to like iPhone 12 to see how it looks. So the gaps look pretty good there. I might actually just get rid of the top gap, and I think the bottom gap's fine. So overall, it looks pretty good. So what I might do is the gap here, I might just reduce it a little bit. You can also have it so what it shows on mobile and desktop are different. The way you do it is, say for example, I wanted to duplicate this entire section. I'll press the duplicate button or the clone button, and then I'll come to advanced. On the first one, I would have this as mobile only. And then the second one would be desktop only, if that makes sense. So now we've actually got two different versions. If I modify this one, it's not going to change this one. And then what you can really do is just get rid of all of that margin top. You can also get rid of the bottom as well if you want, but you can play around with it. Another cool thing you can do with that is if you wanted to change the image, for example, you want it to show a different one on mobile to desktop, you could do that like so, okay? So if we go to desktop, it's pointing that way. If you go to mobile, it's pointing that way. So it's pretty cool. So overall, I'm happy. We've also got our SEO settings, as this is going to be a page that you share with people potentially on social media. It's got metadata. I'm just going to call this the learn how to 10x your email list quickly, right? Something like that. Just for an example, bit of a description. In this training, you'll learn the one secret that helps you explode, right, your lead generation, something like that. And then social image will be the one that is shown inside of social media. So I'll just put one of my course thumbnails there for now. So update SEO metadata, that is now done. Okay, so there's the first page completed. All we need to do before we go away is once again click on that form. Now this is actually quite important. At the bottom, because we haven't said what we want people to, where they want people to go after they've filled out the form, we have this little thing here on form submission. You can redirect people, subscribe people, all of these cool things. Since we're going to control it in the form, I just like to control it in the form because it just makes it a little bit easier to understand. You just want to go redirect action and just go to the next step. Okay, simple as that. Click on save. Okay, so that first part is done. Let's go ahead, click on back. And now our opt-in page is complete. The second page, which is the thank you page, is going to be much, much quicker to create because we've already done all the formatting on the first one, right? The text size, the text colors, the button colors, everything like that. So all we need to do now is actually come down to clone funnel step. Now you can choose if you want to do it for different locations or different funnels. I'm just going to put clone step in this funnel here, and then it's just going to create one below it. And then all we need to do is come across to publishing, okay? And then we need to rename it. So this can be thank you. I can put here 2-step if I want to keep everything nice and neat. And what I'm going to put is 2-step, and I can just put success, okay? Update step, right? And you'll see it'll change the name there. And if we go back to overview, we can go ahead and edit this in a new tab. All right. Okay, so here is the cloned page. We don't need the form anymore because we've already collected their info. So I'm just going to get rid of that. I am going to press add elements, and I'm also going to put a button inside of here. Usually people want to add in a call to action when people land on the landing page. It's just another chance to get that little bit extra out of your subscribers. So I'm going to just put some padding either side, about 20. Looks good. I might even delete this bottom button. We don't need it anymore. And I'll just be like, write something like success. Your free training has been sent. And what people like to do down here is just put in a sort of carrot, right? Something that's going to make people want to take another action while the email is coming. So it could be while you wait, if you want to see the latest strategy, I've got to double my traffic to my lead generation portals. Check out this. Check out the latest video on my YouTube channel, right? Something like that. And then increase the sizing. Oop, wrong button. So I'll increase the size of that. So I'll scroll down. I'll scroll up a little bit. Sorry. Desktop size. And then I can change this to, where are we? Down here. Click the text, watch the free video. Okay, and you can always put in the link. So this could be to website URL, and it could just say, you know, I'll just put YouTube for now just to give you an idea. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So if all is working well so far, people are going to put in their name and address. This has already been optimized, so that is all done. We've already got our privacy policies, so we're doing really well, okay? So the next step, once we have now created this, is actually using an automation workflow to send out an email. So the next step is to come to automation, come to workflows, and click on create workflow. Once again, we're creating one from scratch. And what you want to do is start from scratch, click on continue, okay? And we will go and build one out. So the first thing we want to do is once again rename the workflow just so everything is nice and congruent. So this is the 2-step funnel, and I'll just call this workflow, right? You don't need to add workflow, I'll just put it there. Now we need to add a trigger, so click add new workflow trigger. Now someone will trigger this once they have filled out a form. So form submission, click on add filter. Okay, select form is, select your form to 2-step form YT. Once again, everything is congruent. Click on save trigger. So that's been done. Add your first action. What I always do, always do, is every time someone fills out a form or does a specific action where it sort of gets my attention, I always put an add contact tag. Now you can create them inside of here. So for this one, I'm just going to put maybe 2-step. Okay, 2-step YT. I'll just put 2-step funnel YT, right? Keep it all congruent. Press enter. Oh, sorry, click add new tag. And this just means every time someone comes through, they're going to be tagged with this, and I know exactly where they have come from inside of my ecosystem. The cool thing with this is you can see like a timeline and a path where people first got initiated with you, where they first found you. You can see exactly what they were triggered by, and then you can see all of the different paths and all the different things they've seen, they've visited using this strategy. So it's pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do is click on this little plus button, and I'm going to look up email and click send email. Now we won't go into email templates or anything like that in this video. Instead, what I'm going to do is just make it nice and simple and generic. I'll go and create a tutorial about creating email templates and campaigns in one of the next videos. So to keep it nice and simple, from name is going to be me, so Phil Wilson. From email is going to be hello@funnelscene.com. Subject can be hey, and then I'm going to come to this little tag button, click on contact, and put in first name. This is going to populate it with that person's first name. And I'll just say, here is your training. Or here is, I'll just put training. And then scroll down and we can just quickly fill this out. And I'll just be like, hey, once again, custom value, contact, first name. I see you're interested in learning how to grow your email list. In fact, this has been one of the biggest things that have grown my business, right? You get the idea. This is just an email, and I'll just be like, check it out here, right? Thanks, Phil. Right. And what you want to do is highlight this text, and of course, link them to whatever the page is. So I'll just put inside here, say funnelscene.com/free training, or whatever it might be. Okay. And that looks pretty good. Click on save action, and boom, we are done. Click on publish, okay, and then click save. So that is done. We're actually fully complete. So what I'm going to do is come back to the funnels, the funnel steps, go to the first one and click on this little button here, which is going to open it up in a new page, okay. Then I'm going to go ahead, add in my full name. So for this example, I'll put Bob Dylan. Okay, email can just be hello plus I think I'm about 17 now at funnelscene.com. The reason I do this is it creates a separate email, but they all go to the same email. It's great for testing. Click get instant access, right? And it'll take you to the next page. And we've got watch the free video. You can see it links to YouTube, so that's good. And what I'm going to do is come to contacts, and I might have to pause the video because there is actually quite a few contacts in there. So there it is. We have the first name, last name, email. We've also got the contact source, which is two-step YT form. This person is also on the right. You can see they have visited a page, forms been submitted, contact being created. So everything has worked perfectly. Here is also their email. They have been sent as well. So that's it, guys. That is how you build a Go HighLevel two-step funnel. These two-step funnels can be used for pretty much anything. So make sure you implement these inside of your business. And once again, if you haven't yet got started with Go HighLevel and you want to get all of my bonus training as well as templates, make sure you use the link in the description to get started. But I hope this brought some value to you. If you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. I'm happy to help out with anything that you might be stuck with. That's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.